Ooby-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. I'm also a point and shoot enthusiast. I bought this Canon Powershot SX-150 IS quite a number of years ago. It was dirt cheap. I think I got it from one of the super stores in New York City, and it was like $130 or something. What can I say? This camera is uninspiring. Absolutely. It takes pictures, but the chip is noisy. It has a rather truncated dynamic range. Let's see, what does it say here? Canon zoom lens 12x. 5 millimeters to 60 millimeters, that's 3.4 to 5.6. Wow. That's its only claim to fame. Yeah, I don't like the way it exposes. Even if I put it on my favorite A, where I set the aperture and then it picks the shutter speed, maybe because the chip is a very small chip. You know, the chip is about as big as your fingernail. So maybe the smaller the chip is, it's hard for it to collect enough light or whatever. But be that as it may, I took a whole bunch of pictures with this, and I sort of retired the camera. I was upset I sort of wasted $130 on it. But then I'll tell you what I use this for. When I have the slideshow, I use this for my narration to slideshow. So when I'm in my favorite movie maker, I put it in movie mode, put it on, press the record button, and then I watch the slideshow and I make a commentary. And then all I have to do is I rip the audio out of the video, and then I just place it in my movie maker, and it's easy peasy. And it's good enough for that. And let's look at this. It has an SD card slot. I always got a 4 gigabyte, but I stick in 640 by 480 mode for movies, and then I could put quite a number of movies on this before the card gets filled. I use loop batteries because they last the longest under these demanding conditions. Forget about lithium is too expensive, and all the rest don't have enough life in them. So that's why I use the loop. It's small, it's lightweight, it comes with a lanyard. It has special modes, it has these scene, favorites. Of course, I always use AV or manual mode. It's completely manual flash. You gotta lift it up. So it's a real basic point and shoot. Absolutely. Oh, where is it made? Made in China. I wonder if that has anything to do with anything. At any rate, Canon, you think, oh, it's Canon name, it must be good. Nah, this is very, it was adequate, you know. Oh, it got stepped on. I was filming myself doing a brake job, and I accidentally stepped on it, and it still keeps on going. How about that? So for a cheap piece of plastic, it held up pretty good. Oh, I haven't abused it in any other way, like dropped it or get it frozen or wet or something. So I went to the city in 2013. I was very busy. Me and my girlfriend went to the city. We were down the St. Patrick's Cathedral area, and we walked around there for November afternoon, right around Thanksgiving. And of course, everything was getting ready for Christmas. And I was just unimpressed. The chip is noisy. It seemed to have a very truncated dynamic range. Let's look at some the menu real quick. Let's see what's on the menu. Frame size, AF digital point and shoot, blah blah blah. Safety, flash settings, eye contrast. I have that off, and maybe I should put it on. Retain shadow detail in high contrast scenes. Oh, I don't know if that's safety shift. That's something with the focus. IS settings, date stamp. That's always good to have. Let's look at this. LCD brightness, startup image format, file numbering. Oh, look at that. There's no other adjustments. The only adjustments you could seem to make. Let's go back here. is this eye contrast thing. That's the only settings you have. There's nothing for to turn sharpness. I don't see that, do you? I didn't see anything for that. Nothing about sharpness or saturation or any other crap. Oh man, talk about basic. The IS seems to work. I'll say that. What was this? This is like 15 megapixels or something. Well, you know, I guess it's better than not having a camera at all. Is it as good as a phone camera? I don't know. Maybe. And some things, but the chip was noisy, and the slideshow, I had to do a noise reduction routine on every picture, and then some of them I had to sharpen up because the noise reduction, I had to put it I had to do such a large noise reduction, I had to sharpen them afterwards. So I did I cropped them, did a noise reduction, resized them, then sharpened them on every picture. So that's for, I seen better point and shoots. Kodak made better point and shoots than this. So what can I say? Of course, Canon makes better point and shoots than this, but they cost 3 or 4 times as much. So I guess you get what you pay for. So I did find a use for it, and I will continue to use it in that respect. So I could do my soundtrack commentary on the slideshow, but that's all I use it for, nothing else. So let's jump right into the slideshow, and you can see, which means, what does that mean? If you see one at a garage sale for $5, yeah, I guess it's worth $5, but make sure you get the memory card and 2 rechargeable batteries with it. And that's about all it's really worth. Let's go into the slideshow. Oh, I was mistaken. You could adjust the colors on this if you push the set button in the middle of the thumb wheel. You could pick, they have a whole bunch of presets for the colors, but the last one is custom, where you can set the sharpness, the contrast, and the saturation. So I did that in case I'll give it another shot and see if that helps any. But the chip is very noisy. It's a very small chip. It's very noisy at ISO 800. So me and the girlfriend went over to the city in 2013, November 23rd, in the afternoon, and we hacked around Manhattan by St. Patrick's Cathedral, and it had a bunch of scaffolding around it. Ooh, look, there's the Chrysler Building. And I guess it was under some sort of renovation. And that's interesting because that's ephemeral, Wonder if the next time it's going to be renovated. Who knows? Might be years from now. But anyway, we were there. It was all covered up with the scaffolding. And some other places were covered with scaffolding too. That's why we always like to go to the city to capture how the city changes. I like this neon sign. Thomas Pink, the Cheeky Fox Christmas Band. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That was worth the trip just to see that. Although the camera wasn't that powerful to capture it the way I wanted to. And there's the Cafe Manhattan. I wonder if they got a Rick and a Fat Man. And then someone says, play it again, Sam. Look, there's a stretch limo and a crane. So, New York City's full of cranes and stretch limos. Yeah, there's some scaffolding right there. I bet you that's St. Patty's Cathedral, I bet you. And it was sort of Christmas season, so a lot of places had Christmas decorations out. So it's always, and then there's the hustle and bustle. There's a lot of crowds. I think it was Thanksgiving holiday, so a lot of people were just out and about, as it were. And there you got plenty of flags. New York City is a city of flags. There's mostly American flags, but a lot of foreign flags. There's St. Patrick's Cathedral. Yeah, that scaffolding is for St. Patrick's. And of course they're finished now, so the scaffolding isn't there. But, hey, I captured something unique, and that only happens very rarely or once in a while. And it went all the way up. There's the steeples of St. Patrick's Cathedral. I don't know if they finished them and they're working their way down or what they were doing. But it's 2013, and look, they had all the scaffolding. But it was open. You could go in and worship if you wanted to. And maybe they sandblast it every once in a while. I'll have to look into that. It's just, hey, I'm glad I went just to see this. And you can see how compressed the dynamic range of this chip is, where the highlights were sort of blown out. Oh, the 2013 Rockefeller Center tree. It was so crowded we didn't go in. You know, we were just going to get stuck, so we wanted to walk around. St. Patrick's is open. I went in there once with my ex-wife, and she started lighting all the candles, and one of the priests came over, so I had to like stick a fiver and stick it in their freaking box so they wouldn't yell at us. My ex-wife, she's real, well, she's from Peru, and I guess she was into churches and lighting candles. So, and they were only tiny little candles. They were about a quarter inch thick. So what was the big deal if she lit them all, you know? Someone would come and say, ooh, look at all the candles. This is a famous statue. I don't know, it's Atlas or somebody. This was a vertical composition, so I started a crop at the bottom. This is one in the middle, and this is what he's holding up this ring at top. I did it a couple times in this slideshow. This is a famous statue, naked statue of a man and a woman. He looks like he's sucking his gut in, like maybe he's a little flabby or he's sucking it in, huh? And this was a glass front store, and something was reflecting off the windows down the street. Here's a further shot, far away shot with some American flags of the statue. Yeah, so it's always fun to go to the city. I live close to the city. It takes an hour for me to get to my girlfriend's house, and it's an hour because she's very congested there to get to the ferry and take the ferry over. And then usually the ferry has its jitney, and we'll take it somewhere and hop off and walk around for a couple hours. And what does that say? Juicy couture? Couture. Wild for gifts, huh? Here's another church. It's a very ornate church with a lot of filigree on them. And this is another vertical composition where I did the bottom and then the middle, and I didn't do the top. I don't know if these, that was some sort of hybrid Christmas hat with hands and a wind-up toy or something. Fendi, I don't know what that is. Here's another church, a red brick church. This is another vertical composition where I did the bottom, the middle, and the top. So you can get a feel of how tall these things are. Yeah. And I was able to adjust each segment so they look natural. New York City Center, what's that? I don't know. They had strange lights. Oh, the Late Show with David Letterman. Hey, that's historic because David Letterman, he don't do the Late Show no more, huh? That was only 2013. So it was a good thing me and the GF went over and, snapped pictures for historical purposes, you understand. So I was impressed by this window display. It had an Eiffel Tower and a Statue of Liberty in stripes. I guess it's something that ooh la la to do with France. Here's some sort of Christmassy, wintry window display. Oh, I wonder if anybody bought these shoes and wore them and what happened to them. Are they stuck in a closet? They end up in a Goodwill box, and I didn't see a price sticker. I don't know what this store was. I just took a picture. It's pretty interesting. But the dynamic range wasn't there with this camera. Yeah, here's another, I don't know if I wear clothes like that. If you paid me, I might, but that was for women. This is Ralph Lauren. This is another vertical composition where I did the bottom, middle, and the top. So this camera, I don't know what to say with this camera. I use it for a specialized purpose to make this soundtrack, but that's about it. $130 brand new. If you see one for $5 or someone wants to give it to you free, yeah, take it. Otherwise, don't bother.